Welcome to Kosh. Before we get started, please make sure to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss out. Okay, let's just dive right into this. In this explainer, we are going to explore the deeply historical and spiritual journey of a true visionary. We're talking about a figure who literally changed the spiritual landscape of South India from the ground up. This isn't just your standard history lesson. It's an incredible look at how one individual's radical dedication to a single, simple practice rippled through time to impact millions. To really grasp the magnitude of his life, we kind of have to open the treasure chest of history first, right? This Gyan Kosh, or pursuit of knowledge, takes us back to an era where spiritual rigidities basically locked away enlightenment from everyday people. Understanding that backdrop is absolutely crucial, because the story we are about to unpack today completely shattered those barriers. Take a listen to this beautiful, atmospheric Sanskrit shloka, Kashaya Danda Karati Vibhushitangam. It paints such a striking, vivid image. Picture a sage, adorned in simple saffron robes, holding nothing but a wooden staff and a water pot. It speaks of a being who's the absolute embodiment of detachment, an ocean of pure compassion just waiting to lift us out of the deep dark well of samsara, that endless cycle of worldly suffering. And that beautifully introduces our subject, Bhagavan Nama Bodhendral. And that brings us to the central mystery of this entire story. It's a big one. Can the simple two-letter name Rama actually bring true salvation? Like, can just chanting a name completely transform a human life and wash away our heaviest burdens? Well, over 300 years ago, one magnificent saint used his entire earthly existence as the absolute proof to answer that exact question. To really get the weight of his answer, we have to look at the unimaginable sacrifice he made. On one hand, you have the 59th Acharya of the Kanchi Kamakoti Pitam. We're talking about one of the most powerful, highly revered monastic institutions in all of India. He was a Jaga guru in the majestic lineage of Adi Shankara himself, a brilliant scholar, a master of the Vedas and complex logic. But then, he gave it all up. He walked away from that incredibly high-ranking religious seat, all the authority, all the comfort, just to become a simple, wandering ascetic with nothing but a staff and a water pot. I mean, just think about the sheer magnitude of that choice. So you have to ask why? Why make that massive sacrifice? Because he dedicated his entire existence to one shockingly simple, powerful practice, Nama Sankirtanam. This is the continuous devotional singing, chanting, and listening to the divine name of Bhagavan. He believed in this so completely, so deeply, that he didn't just practice it. The divine name literally became his identity. He wasn't just Bodhendral anymore. He became known forever as Bhagavan Nama Bodhendral. And this profound dedication built a legacy that is very much alive today. Even now, 3 whole centuries later, down on the misty banks of the Kaveri River in a small village called Govindapuram, thousands of devotees still gather. Every single year, especially during the Tamil month of Pradasi, they chant the name of Rama day and night at his Jiva Samadhi, the sacred site where he eternally entered a state of ultimate meditation. It just goes to show that his spiritual presence isn't some dusty memory in a history book. It is a living, breathing reality for everyone who goes there. His incredible journey actually started in Kanjipuram, where he was known as Purushothaman. Early on, a tragic loss of a close friend pushed him toward profound renunciation. This path led to a miraculous event at the Puri Jagannath temple that completely shifted his destiny forever. After that, he ascended as the 59th Acharya of the Kanchi Padam. But he didn't just passively rule from there. Nope. He actively authored 8 brilliant Sanskrit texts to philosophically anchor Nama Siddhantam, which is the ultimate, rigorously defended doctrine of the divine name. But here's the thing. He wasn't just a philosopher sitting in a room somewhere. He was a walking miracle. His impact absolutely defied the social norms of the time, completely dissolving rigid boundaries of caste and religion. We have historical accounts of him walking barefoot across Tamil Nadu, literally curing a devastating plague in the city of Arcot just through the power of chanting. There's also this heartwarming story of his blessings granting speech to a mute child. He even brought pure salvation to a Devadasi, a marginalized temple dancer. He proved beyond any shadow of a doubt that the divine name is for everyone. From powerful rulers to absolute outcasts, no one was excluded. Which is a perfect transition into his wider cultural impact. Alongside other great saints like Sridhara Venkatesa Ayyaval and Marudana Lur Sadguru Swamigal, he architected the Bhajana Sampradaya. This is that beautiful collective chanting tradition you still hear echoing through the ancient temple pillars and streets of South India today. By organizing this, he effectively took spirituality out of the exclusive, closed-off halls of scholars and brought it right out into the streets. He allowed everyday people to sing, dance, and celebrate the divine together. And what's really fascinating is how far-reaching this cultural shift was. His philosophy directly shaped the entire musical landscape of the region. The grand Namasankirtana tradition he set up left an undeniable mark on the legendary Carnatic music composers. I'm talking about giants of the Carnatic Trinity, like the great Tyagaraja Swamigal, who grew up in the Tiruvarur and Tiruvayaru regions. They were deeply, directly influenced by Bodhendral's philosophy. His elevation of the divine name literally provided the spiritual and lyrical foundation for some of the greatest musical masterpieces ever composed in India. His physical journey ultimately culminated in a deeply moving moment in 1692. On a full moon night in the Tamil month of Puratasi, while he was playfully interacting with children on the riverbank, Bhagavan Nama Bodhendral attained Jiva Samadhi. It's such an emotional, serene conclusion to his earthly life. But the history of this event doesn't even end there. His Samadhi site was actually temporarily lost to the sands of time and the shifting river. It was only miraculously rediscovered and restored years later by the great Maratha king of Tanjore, Sirfoji, ensuring it remained a beacon for all future generations. So, you might be wondering, what does all of this mean for us right now? In our modern age, what Hindu cosmology calls the Kali Yuga, an era often filled with darkness, anxiety, and strife, how can this ancient, remarkably simple path of chanting completely reshape your own reality? This explainer isn't just history. It's a direct invitation. It's a chance to see how an incredibly accessible path, one with no prior qualifications, no special status, no complex rituals, can fundamentally alter a fractured society and bring immense peace into your own life today. Now, his place within the magnificent lineage of Adi Shankara is a massive topic. Honestly, it could fill an entirely separate explainer, and we will definitely be exploring that next. But Bodhendral's specific legacy reminds us that true greatness often lies in radical simplicity. Here was a man who held the absolute highest seat of orthodox power, yet he walked away from it to show the masses that salvation isn't locked behind scholarly doors. The magnificent lineage of the Kanchipeetham was forever changed by a man who chose the simplest path imaginable.
So I want to leave you with a provocative thought. What if the profound, unshakable peace you are searching for is literally as simple as a single word? Reflect on the power of the divine name. Like Bodhendral taught through his entire life and legacy, you don't need any special qualification, you don't need wealth, and you don't need status to start. Try it yourself. Just try chanting Rama, Rama, Rama. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer here on Gyan Kosh. Please, if you found this valuable, like this explainer, share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep bringing you these incredible stories. See you next time.